Amish, first of all, congratulations. Real pleasure meeting you and being with you today. Tremendous. The adulation when it comes is just pouring.
God's been kind.
You said that to me when we spoke that day. You said God's been kind 4 times as I was congratulating you. You're a very strong believer.
I am a very strong believer in Lord Shiva. Look, I had the absolutely wrong background to be an author. I graduated in mathematics. I did an MBA. I've been a voracious reader all my life, but I was never creative when I was young. I was more of a sports guy, you know, boxing, gymnastics, those kind of things. So if someone like me can actually write 3 long books and for them to be, you know, kind of reasonably successful, it's a blessing, man. Only Lord Shiva could have got it done. It's not my work.
Now, why choose Shiva?
Look, the genesis of the Shiva trilogy was on a philosophy on evil, which at least I thought had relevance in today's world as well, which got converted into an adventure to convey that philosophy. So if there has to be an adventure based on a philosophy on evil, who better to be the hero than the destroyer of evil himself, Lord Shiva? Having said that, Lord Shiva, no disrespect to any other god, but Lord Shiva is also a very cool god to write about. Okay, he's great fun. He treats his wife with respect. He dances brilliantly. He's a fierce warrior. He drinks bhang. You know, he's a very cool god to write about.
You've shown him with all his flaws.
Lord Shiva is always that way, actually, even in his traditional forms. He's the only one of the Trinity who actually lives on earth. He actually lives on Mount Kailash. He's, in a way, one of us.
Yeah, tell me, you always have to be careful when you deal with religion. In our country nowadays, we've got a short fuse when it comes to the slightest of deviance here and there. How do you balance that? You know, sensibilities, sensitivities of 1 billion people when you're writing a book on a god.
I'm not trying to be facetious, but I mean this from the bottom of my heart. If you have to write a book like this, there's no better country than India to do this. Because honestly, if you look in our past, in our ancient past, the tradition of modernizing and localizing myths has been a rich tradition. Look at the various versions of the Ramayana.
But you know the current debate. The current debate is one of great intolerance.
But the point I want to make is that actually after 250 years, we have actually joined the debate. So I suspect that we are actually rediscovering our old myths, our old culture. And my point is that the proof of the pudding is in the eating. My books have sold a reasonable amount till now. I haven't faced one protest, one controversy, and there's no reason for it, because I think anyone who reads it, it's obvious to them that yes, this may have been a different interpretation, but whoever has written it is a very devoted Shiva worshipper. There's no reason for any controversy.
In fact, I think you've brought Shiva to so many people.
No, look, I'm no one to do that. Shiva was always with everyone. My books are only a very small contribution to Lord Shiva's innate coolness.
How was it at the start? You got rejected?
Every single publisher that my book was sent to, I stopped counting at 20. Every single publisher it was sent to, they rejected my books. Finally, I self-published.
They rejected the Melua.
Immortals of Melua. They said,
Immortals of Melua. What did they tell?
They said, religious kitab hai, it's a religious book. The youth aren't interested in religion. They told me, write some love story, write something about your college days. But, that's not the story that I had. So they said, no one is interested in myths or in religion. But I said, look, this is the story that I have. I don't have anything else. Finally, I self-published actually, and by God's grace, it actually took off in the first few months itself. And then many of those publishers came back to bid for it. That's how it happened.
What if it hadn't worked out?
Then it's cool. I would have still finished the second and third book. Only my family would have read it, my long-suffering family. But I would have still been happy, man. I mean, it's not about what others think of it. It's about what I think of it myself.
You know, as having read your first 2 books, your books are extensively researched. They are very well structured, and there's a lot of detailing that goes to it. You're not superficial. And at the same time, it's done in a very nice way.
Thank you.
It's very readable. It's gripping and it's fun.
Okay, you've embarrassed me twice over actually in 5 minutes.
I have never paid a compliment to any politician. I reserve it for people like you.
Thank you so much.
How much research do you do?
One way of looking at it is that I've been doing research all my life for this, because I don't do research while writing, it distracts me. But I was born into a very religious family. My grandfather was a priest, both my parents are very religious, so I grew up in that kind of family. It was also a very liberal family, which in traditional India is actually not a contradiction. If you're deeply religious, you'll automatically be liberal as well. I grew up in that kind of culture, so actually that's how I know most of the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Purans, whatever little I do know, I've learned from my family.
You know, it is said that your last book answers the questions that had puzzled Shiva. You know, what is evil?
Right.
You know, and good and evil, they are two sides of the same coin. One gains weight over the other. So when and why does the coin flip?
If I answer that, I'll probably spoil the third book. You haven't read the third book as yet, right?
No. Huh?
I'll spoil the third book for you. So I can't answer it too directly. Let me just say that evil serves a purpose as well. It serves a purpose. I think that's about it. Anything more might probably spoil the third book for you.
I won't do that. I'm such a spoiled sport, Amish. I do such terrible things on TV. I won't do that. Now the thing is that I would have thought that you would be very, very worried about giving this celluloid form. I was fascinated by that video I saw. I've never seen a book with being promoted in the way. Those pictures, incredible, all put together. Now Dharma Productions has bought the rights to your first book. How much of creative control will you have? This is so original. It's not just any book. How much creative control will you have? Have you retained that with yourself?
Look, I'm there as a creative consultant, but the way I work in life is that you have to find someone whom you trust and then go ahead and trust that guy. I met various producers who were bidding for the book. The deal was negotiated by my Hollywood-based agency, CAA, and supported by my book agent, Anuj Bari. And I loved what Karan told me in my first meeting with him. He said, we'll make a movie that is worthy of Lord Shiva, you know, and that really kind of...
When's that coming out?
They're working on the script right now, and I completely trust him as a producer. I'm sure we'll make a movie that's worthy of Lord Shiva, inshallah.
What about the money? Let's talk money. 5 lakhs is the first print.
Right. Of the Oath of the
4 lakhs sold out.
Yes.
I was at the airport when I saw this book just flying off the shelves. People were buying 2 or 3 together at one time, not sure whether they'd have any for themselves. So you have 5 lakh sales in your first print, and I'm told someone's paying you 5 crore rupees for your next series.
Yes, the same publisher, Westland. Yes. They have been very generous, and the deal has been, I must say, negotiated well by my agent Anuj Bari, and it's the blessings of Lord Shiva. Yeah.
Well, may the blessings of Lord Shiva stay with you. Incredible success story, Amish.
Thank you.
I hope you retain this wonderful charm.
Thank you.
And have you decided what your next series is? Will you sign this for us?
Of course.
Is there any plug line that you have for this? The Oath of the Vayuputras is the biggest selling. I'm not plugging the book. It's the biggest selling work of fiction.
Thank you.
Based on mythology in recent times. This book is making history, and Amish, who's here with us today, has made literary history. I think it is, and you are so unpretentious, Amish.
Oh, thank you.
You are not. You don't have any of these intellectual pretensions. Anyone who's met you says completely down to earth. How do you remain grounded, by the way, Amish, when all this happens to you?
If you'd met me 6-7 years ago, I was an extremely arrogant, aggressive guy.
Were you?
I think the books have changed me, man. It's changed me by 180 degrees. I'm far happier with life, and I realize how kind fate has been to me. What a wonderful family I have. Fate has been kind to me. I must appreciate it.
How do you deal with the pressure? But now that you have success like this, if I were you, but I'm not you. I can never be you. But I would really face a huge amount of pressure. But how I'm going to live up to the expectations, of the next trilogy?
One of the good things for me, the way I write, is that I tend to cut off from everything. When I'm writing, frankly, I know it might sound strange, but I genuinely don't care about what editors think, the publishers, critics, or frankly even readers. I don't care about anyone. I'm just lost in my story. So there's no question of any pressure, because frankly I'm not thinking of anyone else when I'm writing. The pressure only enters my mind once my writing phase is over and I get into the marketing phase. I'm a bit of a control freak. I like to be involved in every aspect of the story. So I must admit, in my marketing phase, yes, a bit of nervousness does enter the mind. While writing, frankly, I'm cut off. I'm cut off from everyone.
That's how
Except my family.
That's how it works. All the very best, Amish. Pleasure meeting you.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Sign the book for me.
Of course.
Sign the book for me. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the new bestseller. Thank you very much, Amish. Thank you very much indeed. I'll hand you over the book.